Today. So, looking forward to our session. So let's do the chanting right now. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Tadayampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tadayampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tadayampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are about to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are about to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are about to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is about to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayataum gati para samgati buddhi soha. Tayataum gati para samgati buddhi soha. Tayataum gati para samgati buddhi soha. So, hope you're having a good morning or good afternoon, good evening. No such things as these things. Time, past, gone, future not here. Present is fleeting. But why do we have worry still, anxiety still? All of these negative states of mind or emotions, because we have attachment. We have attachment that springs from ignorance, lack of wisdom. That's why. That's why we have worries, anxiety. Even when on a conceptual level, we know that the past is gone, the future is not here, and the present is fleeting. We know this, but we are habituated to live kind of with the opposite, or contrary to this knowledge, because of habit, because of the karma. You know, like a very beautiful tree on the side of a bank of a river or a lake or a pond on a nice clear day. This tree reflects in the water, or there's a reflection of the tree in the water. Our life is kind of like this. Actually, it's a reflection of our karma, the way we perceive things, the way we live, all the good things in our lives, the bad things, all the indifferent things. Actually, reflection of the karma, results of the karma too. Okay. Just thought I'd start out by saying that. Why not? Good teaching. So now we can get ourselves nice and comfortable for meditation. And we will release the tension from the body. Starting from the bottom, working our way to the top. So bring your mind inside your body now. And release whatever tension you can release from all around your feet. And your lower leg. Upper leg. And all around your midsection. And all around your upper torso. Work your way slowly up. To the shoulders. Down your arms to the tips of your fingers. And all around your neck. And head. Back of your head, sides of your head, all around your face. And to the top of your head. Now briefly scan your body again just to see if there's any leftover tension. And if there is, release it. Bring your focus to the tip of your nose initially. And the focus is the feeling of the breath as you breathe in your nose all the way into your lungs and back out your nose again. Breathing in and breathing out. You may notice as you breathe in, as the air passes your throat, it's quite cool, and as you breathe out, it's quite warm. You may also notice that the stomach rises as your lungs fill with the air due to them expanding, and then the stomach drops a little. As you breathe out, the air leaves the lungs, they compress. These extra details may help you stay focused on the feeling of the breath. You can also count the breaths from 1 to 10. One breath, one out breath is 1, and so on. But if you get distracted on the way towards 10, then go back to 1 at that time. And don't count past 10, because we don't want the counting to be the focus. The breath is the focus. So if thoughts arise or any other mental activity arises, don't cling to it. Don't grasp at it. Also, don't try to force it away or deny it. But simply let them go as you replace your mind back onto your breath. And if you become mentally dull, then wake your mind up a bit by refocusing on your breath more brightly. So let's practice like this in silence for a little bit. And feel pleased with ourselves for engaging in the meditation session. However short, it's always helpful. Once again, I remind you and encourage you to do longer sessions when you do your daily meditation, hopefully. Okay. So now we just bring to mind forgiveness, utilizing visualization again, imagining. So you can fill yourself with universal loving kindness. Not yet using the visualization of the white light yet. And you can visualize you are with yourself, or even you can see looking in the mirror, or you are in front of yourself, and you forgive yourself for everything. Maybe some things you did in the past that you shouldn't have done, or things you didn't do in the past that you should have done. You can think to yourself something like, I apologize for things I did in the past that I shouldn't have done, and for not doing certain things that I feel I should have done. I apologize. And then you forgive yourself. You accept your apology to yourself. Put down this mental baggage. And now you can imagine someone in front of you that has brought you harm in the past. And they look at you with kindness and gentleness. And they say, I apologize for bringing you harm in the past. Please forgive me. And you wanting to let go of any negative feelings you may have yourself, but also wanting them to be free from any negative feelings they may have due to this. You say to them with kindness and gentleness, thank you for apologizing for the harm you brought to me in the past. I do forgive you. Now we are both free to move forward in our lives without having any negative feelings. And now you can visualize someone in front of you that you brought harm to in the past. And you say to them with kindness and gentleness, I apologize for bringing you harm in the past. Please forgive me. And they say, thank you for apologizing for the harm you brought to me in the past. I do forgive you. We are now free to move forward in our lives without any negative feelings about this. So we have put down the mental baggage. Now we can fill ourselves with universal loving kindness, utilizing visualization of filling our whole being with the white light. And really feel light too. Body feeling very light, mind feeling very light. Filling your whole self, your whole being with this universal loving kindness, this friendship, appreciation, and gratitude, and so on. So much so that it now overflows and radiates outwards from your heart center, initially to your loved ones, family and friends, and fills them with the white light too, with the universal loving kindness. Wishing that they are happy, free from suffering, and are peaceful. And now also include strangers, and do likewise. And also those you may regard as enemies, and do likewise. We are increasing our universal loving kindness, and also developing this mind of equanimity, no bias. Now to all sentient beings, not just the human beings, radiating this universal loving kindness, utilizing the white light, radiating from your heart center to the heart centers of all living beings, initially around your immediate area, all of the living beings that live on the land, in the waters, fly through the air, born from wombs, eggs, moisture, or through transformation, whether you know about them or not. And now we can gather so much momentum in our radiation of universal loving kindness that it radiates throughout our whole state or county to all sentient beings, innumerable sentient beings. And all of the states or counties in our whole country. And all of the countries throughout the world. Those you have an affinity towards, those you're indifferent towards, and those that for whatever reason you may have some negative feelings about. And also have your loving kindness pervade throughout all of the bodies of water, such as the oceans and so on, and down to the core of the earth and to the outermost atmosphere. And beyond this planet, throughout the whole solar system, and galaxy and universe and throughout infinite space. And now we can switch techniques again to the Tonglen or giving-taking meditation to develop more and more compassion. So bring to mind all of the suffering of sentient beings. We can think about our own suffering and realize that all living beings go through this suffering, or this type of suffering, sometimes worse, much, much worse, sometimes not as bad. So now you can visualize all sentient beings in front of you. Just imagine this, okay? And when you breathe out, from your heart center radiates white light, which enters into the heart centers of all sentient beings. You're giving away all of your goodness and happiness, all of your good conditions and good karma, all of your realizations, wisdom and compassion and so on. Giving them happiness, giving them the conditions that they need on the path to enlightenment. And when you breathe in, when you inhale, you take the black smoke from their heart centers into your heart center, where it melts away, and melts away your ego and self-centeredness. So breathing out, giving the white light, giving up your attachments, and giving all the happiness to living beings. When we're breathing in, taking their black smoke, freeing them from suffering, and melting away your ego and self-centeredness. So let's do this now for a short while. Really imagine that this is working, this is happening, that you are gradually freeing yourself from self-centeredness, that the living beings are really happy, have more compassion, have more wisdom, but also that they are free from suffering. You are free from attachment and aversion. It rises from this ignorance. We are freeing ourselves and we are freeing others. So once again, feel really happy and rejoice in the rejoicing. And we'll do the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious bodhicitta not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of Shunyata not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. Okay, so we are now continuing the commentary on Master Atisha Dipankara, his heart advice, which comes in 47 lines, or you could say 47 stanzas or 47 verses, short verses. And of course, we've had detailed commentary of all of these verses, and now we are having conclusions. This is, I think, conclusion number 3. We could have 4, we could have 5, we could have 6. I don't imagine we'd have any more than that. But yeah, it's kind of like a conclusion is kind of like wrapping up what it is we spoke about. reminding you also of all the details that you listened to and hopefully remembered, contemplated, and understood. And I think it's quite amazing when we do that, a little bit of reminder, then we think, I actually did listen. I actually did understand. And then you can rejoice. I always talk about rejoicing, don't I? Dedicating also the merits, not just rejoicing, me. No, rejoicing in the fact that you can share your goodness with sentient beings. What it is you understand, you can share with sentient beings, whether that's through vibes, whether that's just with your mind, or whether that's verbally, physically. Okay, so we can always rejoice in our goodness and the goodness of others. And also rejoice in the fact that we can recognize our faults so that we can work to purify them. And hopefully others are doing the same. Okay, so we had a little look last week and the week before. And I think what did we do? We covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we've 20. We covered 20 of the 47 already. And so we'll cover a few more today, however many we'll see, Just to recap a couple of the last two, I think, from last week. So generate compassion for lowly beings, especially avoid despising or humiliating them. And this could be lowly beings, as in people that behave badly or have really, difficult conditions as human beings. Or we can bring to mind the possibilities of the suffering in the hells and the hungry ghost realms, and contemplate the sufferings of animals and so on, okay? Don't humiliate them. Don't look down upon them, because what will that do? That will increase your ego, won't it? Your pride. But also, you will get more bias again. You are giving up this mind of equanimity, whatever limited amount we have right now, because we're putting them down, putting others up, maybe putting ourselves up, even putting ourselves down. So generate compassion, generate this great mind of bodhicitta, the altruistic intention. The next bit is have no hatred for enemies and no attachment for friends. Once again, talking about having equanimity or developing a mind of equanimity. These enemies, maybe people that have hurt you in the past, or for whatever reason, maybe they behave really badly, maybe they hurt others. It's not helpful when we ourselves harbor some negativities, some negative feelings towards these types of beings or other types of beings. It only harms ourselves, It disturbs our mind if we have hatred or if we have anger. Even a small amount of dislike can only hurt our mind, only disturb our mind. And also give up attachment for our friends and loved ones. Like I've said many times, when we are, or the more we are free from attachment, the more help we can be for them or to them or give them. And the attachment disturbs our mind. If for some reason there's some separation for a period of time or whatever, then this can upset us. But if we don't have attachment, then we could just appreciate more when we do spend time together, or previous times, or possibilities in the future. Possibilities, don't attach to that though. So I just wanted to mention that because we went pretty quickly past that one. And so next line is do not be jealous of others' good qualities, but out of admiration, adopt them yourself. And as my teaching from many years ago is, if you see good in me, let it be you. If you see bad in me, don't let it be you. Of course, I've changed that over time to be, if you see good in someone, let that be you. If you see bad in someone, don't let that be you. So don't be influenced by bad behavior of others, but be influenced in a good way, the good behavior and good qualities of others. Let it inspire you to develop these good qualities yourself. Do not look for faults in others, but look for faults in yourself and purge them like bad blood. You know, if you've got bad blood, maybe you got infected, maybe you cut yourself or whatever, and a little bit of infection, you have to clean it out, etc., etc. You don't hang on to that bad blood, do you? It's actually quite stinky. So you wouldn't want that. We don't want to be stinky. So same with our faults. They're stinky. So let's release ourselves from the stench of the faults. Yeah, and don't look for faults in others. We may perceive them. We can't really see them clearly anyway, or perceive them clearly. We can't read their minds, even they behave badly. But actually the faults we're talking about are mental faults. So we can't see inside their mind. So why would we look for faults most of the time? So that we can stop looking for our own faults, stop realizing our own faults. When we do that, how can we purify them? How can we then rejoice in the purification? Can't do. Do not contemplate your own good qualities. That's not to say we shouldn't think about our good qualities, because that we actually can recognize them and know what they are, so that we know how to, and that we need to improve them, and so on. Okay. Little footnote. But contemplate the good qualities of others and respect everyone as a servant would. So develop this great mind of compassion to be of service to others. And also, contemplate their good qualities. Even really bad people, or people that behave badly, and other creatures that behave badly, they have some good qualities. Contemplate this. Equanimize your mind, or what's the word there? I just used equanimity. Okay, so make your mind more equanimous and develop this immeasurable equanimity. Okay, otherwise our loving kindness, our compassion, our joy, and so forth will be very limited, very biased. See all living beings as your father or mother, and love them as if you were their child. So once again, equalizing the mind, that's the word I was looking for before. And equalize the mind by humbling yourself and be of service to living beings. Doesn't mean we are a doormat, but we're lowering ourselves so that we can decrease our ego, decrease our self-centeredness, but also really think, I want beings to be free from suffering, just as I want my mother and father to be free from suffering. I want them to be happy. I want them to realize enlightenment. So now you can, I should have said before, you should close your eyes, the wisdom of hearing, but you've just heard some more commentary, not as detailed as previous, but now you've heard that. Contemplate. So contemplate whatever it is that you heard, keeping your eyes closed so you don't have visual distractions. Or if you prefer to keep your eyes open, make sure you don't have visual distractions. Okay. Contemplating. Not to harbor hatred or attachment. Can be jealous of other people's good qualities, except adopt them yourself. And don't look for faults in others, but realize our own faults and purify them. Contemplate the good qualities of others. And seeing all living beings as precious, like your mother and father. developing great compassion, and realizing the supreme wisdom eventually. Now absorb your mind briefly with what it is that you contemplated. So now you can come back to the wisdom of hearing. I must say, we only have less than 3 minutes to go. Lucky I looked this week, because last week I got cut off. So we'll pick this up next week. I wanted to get through a few more today, but I didn't. That's life. Okay, so first of all, I say I rejoice in your goodness as always, and I rejoice in your goodness from last week. And next week, it will be better. Your goodness will improve, increase, multiply, because you practice Dharma really well throughout the week. And yeah, make sure that you study enough, not too much, but study clearly. When you're doing that, just do that. When you are practicing whatever methods, meditation or off the cushion, then just do that. Keep your mind upright. Share the Dharma when possible, and like that. So next week we'll have a look at this. Always keep a smiling face and loving mind, and speak truthfully without malice. If you talk too much with little meaning, you will make mistakes. Therefore, speak in moderation only when necessary. If you engage in many meaningless activities, your virtuous activities will degenerate, and therefore stop activities that are not spiritual. It's completely meaningless to put effort into activities that have no essence, no real purpose. And so, like I said, practice well. And, we do share the world with innumerable living beings, and we can learn from them, even the ones that behave badly, or the ignorant ones, which are probably most. So we can learn what not to be or not to do. And we can also improve ourselves, because we can realize that we can fall into these habits too, and probably have in the past. And also to stop ourselves, from falling into bad habits. But also we can improve continually. Now, right here, right now, that's when we practice. Even you're in bed in the morning, early morning in Britain, there, you're in bed. Practice in bed. Practice later when you get up.